Hello everybody, I'm JackieKCooper and this is my entertainment rundown. Men in Black International. They just had to do it. They had to make a sequel to the sequel to the sequel. I think that's right. I think there's an original and then two more, maybe not. But what I recall from Men in Black is, number one, Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith. It was a buddy movie. They were both agents. They dealt with, alien species, and the special effects were good, and the strange characters, the creatures that they encountered was good, and their rapport between the two of them was good. Well, forget all of that. You've been neuralized, or whatever that thing is that makes people lose their memory that they use in the movie. Now we have Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. She is the new agent on board. Her parents had been witness to one of the Men in Black, adventures, and their minds were neuralized, but she was upstairs in the house and she observed it all, and she wasn't. So all of her young life, she has been searching for the Men in Black headquarters, and one day she discovers it and gets in to talk to Emma Thompson, who's in control of everything, and persuades her to bring her on as a probationary new agent. And she is partnered up with Chris Hemsworth. I get those two confused. And they're sent off on a case in Europe. So that's where the international comes through. What the problem was is I didn't find any chemistry in the buddy relationship between Hemsworth's character and Tessa Thompson. They're both individually good, but there's no rapport. There's absolutely, no romance. This is not a romance movie. This is a rapport movie. But Chris Hemsworth has more rapport and charm and interaction between him and the camera person, who loves to photograph him in slow motion and his best angles and all of this, than he has with her. She has a nice, friendly personality. She's smart. She's able to achieve all the duties of an MIB agent. But again, they just don't come together. And for the movie to be any good, that was a necessity. Otherwise, it just comes off as average. The movie's rated PG-13 for profanity and violence. I scored it 5 out of 10, and this 5 average is because of the special effects and the loyalty to the franchise. But this one just doesn't look to me like it will head to any further adventures. Then we have the movie American Woman. You're going to have to hunt this one out. It's about a woman who gets pregnant when she's 16 years old, has a daughter, then her daughter gets pregnant at like 17 and has a son. The daughter is depressed because of her life, and the woman, the mother, or the grandmother, in both the two instances, played by Sienna Miller, just feels like her life is going nowhere. She's having an affair with a married man next door. She, works at, in a grocery store or something of that like that, and she doesn't feel like she has any future there. She's trying to make sure that her grandson is taken care of. And then, her daughter one night goes missing. And this throws her whole life into an upheaval. And then you see her life as it plays out over the next couple of decades. She finds romance of sorts with a man played by Aaron Paul. The saving grace of it all is that her sister, played by Christina Hendricks, and the sister's husband, played by Will Sasso, live right across the street. So whenever there's any crisis, they can come running and try to help out. But the beautiful thing about this movie is the performance of Sienna Miller. She really does a great job in going through all the trials and tribulations that this woman faces, and you see the evolution of her personality, how her confidence grows, different changes in her life, her relationships, like I said, relationship with a man played by Aaron Paul, and also with her mother, played by Amy Madigan. It's kind of a love-hate relationship that goes back and forth, but it just portrays one woman and what happens to her. Like I said, over a couple of decades, I found it to be engrossing and entertaining. The script is just really sharp in the dialogue that these characters have with each other. So I really enjoyed it. It's rated R for profanity, violence, and nudity, and I scored it 7 out of 10. I really thought it was good. So you need to look it up. American Woman. It's just come out. It's playing in limited theaters, but see if you can find it. Then we have Late Night. This is a movie that Mindy Kaling wrote, and she also co-stars in. It's about a young woman of Indian heritage. She is working at a chemical plant. But she wants to get into stand-up comedy or comedy writing or something like that. And through a twist of fate, she gets the opportunity to meet with the person who is the head of the staff for a show called Late Night with Catherine Newton or Newberry, something like that, played by Emma Thompson. And this show it's Tonight with Catherine Newberry or whatever, not the Late Night. But she gets a job as a writer. It's an all-white male staff, and she gets hired because they're trying to bring some diversity into the staff. And she speaks her mind. Emma Thompson's character has been on late night television with her show Tonight for 20-something years. And it's gotten just mired down. The popularity is waning, and they're threatening to replace her. And in comes this fresh face, played by Mindy Kaling. Her name is Molly in the movie, and she is just really great. And she and Emma Thompson working together, are just great co-stars. The secret to a successful movie is when you care about the characters. You really have to care about the characters. It's just bland across the board, and you care about these characters. You care about Catherine, played by Emma Thompson. You care about Molly, played by Mindy Kaling. Catherine's husband is played by John Lithgow. You get involved with his life, but it all comes together. I had never understood people's enthusiasm about Mindy Kaling. I just didn't watch her show, and didn't watch The Office that much when it was on. But she is unique, and she comes across so warm-hearted in this movie. So you may think, why do I want to see a movie with Emma Thompson and Mindy Kaling? Because it works. It is rated R for profanity. It could have so easily been rated PG-13 if they just cut a little bit of the profanity out. I scored it 7 out of 10 because I cared. And for me to enjoy a movie, I've got to care about the characters. But those are my 3 movies for today. Reach down there and wherever it is and hit the subscribe button and subscribe, because we're going to be with you, as often as possible, giving you the latest movie reviews. But this has been Jackie K. Cooper's Entertainment Rundown.